On this show, we love and we value tradition. We think it's electric. We think it is something that differentiates college football from any other sport in existence, college or pro. And I want us to just kind of take a moment right now together during this segment to talk about some of our favorite, most electric traditions in college football. Now, there's 134 different teams at the FBS level. All of them have electric traditions. This is not an all-encompassing list. So there's going to be some things that I leave off this list. It does not mean I don't think they're incredible. It just means this segment isn't going to last for 3 hours, which is what it would take to unpack all those. So one of the most iconic electric traditions that there is in college football for me, Virginia Tech with the Enter Sandman theme going as they enter. Like, that is something where not all broadcasts, when you're watching a college football game on TV, will capture the intro and the lead-in and the build-up to a game. For Virginia Tech, they do. Why? Because it's cinema. They're counting the decibels. They got the guitar going. Dun-na-na-na-na, dun-na. Like, when that gets rolling, I don't care who you're a fan of, unless you're a Virginia fan, and this changes things a little bit. That gets the juices flowing. It gets goosebumps going. It gets hair standing up on the back of your neck. Like, you may have not played ball for double-digit kind of years. You're ready to go run down on kickoff and break the wedge. I understand the wedge isn't legal anymore, but that's the kind of juice that Virginia Tech and Enter Sandman, their entrance in Lane Stadium, brings to the senses. So that's absolutely, for my money, one of the most, if not the most, electric tradition in all of college football. Here's one that gets slept on for me a little bit. West Virginia, good folks in Morgantown, Fighting Pat McAfee's, when they sing Country Roads by John Denver and that whole stadium's just belting it out, there's something within you, like the heartstrings a little bit just kind of get tugged on. And it's sort of one of those moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is college sports at its finest. This is why we love college football. There's a lot of moments for why we love college football, but I think if you were to bottle that up and show it to someone that's never even seen college football before, they'd be like, oh wow, this is a really communal thing. Yeah, it is. It is. And like, you just see them like with their arms around each other, and you just hear like the beautiful melody from John Denver, Country Roads. Like, that's special. That's absolutely special. So we love that tradition. Absolutely electric. Gets the emotions flowing a little bit when you talk about college football and those traditions. This is one that I think doesn't have quite as much shine, but something that I got to experience firsthand, at least viewed it firsthand, when Baylor runs the line. It is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is like the college football equivalent of the running of the Bulls. What the running the line is for Baylor, for those of y'all that are unfamiliar, every home game, they circle up the entire freshman class, all wearing their like yellow mesh jerseys that say Baylor and like a nickname on the back. Anyway, they get them all corralled into like this small runway, I suppose, and then they like do this, I guess, starting motion. They tell them all to go, and they run from one end of McLean Stadium all the way to the other to make this entryway for the team when it comes out. And it is like the most bizarre minute and a half you've ever seen in college sports, because you got all these freshmen. So one, there's already a lot of juice flowing because they're happy to be on the field. It's a game day, like vibes are high, but also they're like tripping over each other. Some people wear costumes. You see people get trampled. Like, if you are a fan of field storming, this is like diet field storming, but it happens before the game. Special thing. Love to see it. Baylor running the line. Slept on, but very electric tradition. Ohio State dotting the script I in Ohio, or dotting the I in script Ohio. That's cool, dude. That is very, very cool. I was fortunate enough. We got to be there in Columbus for the Michigan game 2 years ago, and you get to be down on the field pregame if you are with the media, which I was like, this is incredible. I've never done this before. This is so cool. And so I didn't really know when you were supposed to go back up to the press box, because it's kind of a, hey, at this time you should go up. When there's this much time left on the clock to go back up to the press box, that's when you should go up. And nobody is like telling you, hey, get up there. Nobody's kicking you off the field. So I'm like wandering down there for the better part of an hour or so before the game starts. And I start to realize, like, one by one, different people with media credentials around me are starting to move up to the press box. And so long story short, I ended up getting stuck down there for pregame before kick. And I was down there at field level when they're doing the I on script Ohio, when they're dotting the I. that stadium, the entire shoe is like vibrating, it's shaking. Your ears are starting to like reach a level of taking in sound that you've never heard before. It is a wild experience. The pure energy that's pulsing through that stadium when you dot the I of Script, Ohio, much less against the team that you hate more than anything else in the face of the planet. That's a special thing. Dotting the I of Script, Ohio is electric. A couple others I want to get to here. When Tommy Trojan puts the sword into the heart of the Coliseum, that's pretty cool. There's a big build-up to it. He kind of walks out of center field. One, again, you don't see quite as much because Pac-12 football, rest in peace, didn't get the same shine as maybe some other schools did. That's going to be one that I think is maybe more slept on, but a lot of fun still. And then running through the power tee. We saw this for the night game against South Carolina. They're in the all-black uniforms, and when that thing separates and they run out through the power tee and there's fireworks going off, like that is one of those moments where you're like, wow, okay, this is college football. Like I love the NFL, the NBA, like those are all great sports, but there is nothing that has running through the power tee that is able to encapsulate that amount of energy and that amount of passion into an entire stadium like what that presents. So a lot of great traditions, a lot to get excited about. That's not the only traditions that I think are electric, just so we're on the same page. There's a lot of great ones. Maybe if y'all like this, we'll do more of it. But yeah, at the end of the day, college football is the greatest sport on the face of the planet, and those traditions are a tremendous reason as to why. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.